My name is Yamamoto, and today I am playing World of Warplanes.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
Now, I am playing a ground attack aircraft, the Ilyushin 2. In fact, it's the Ilyushin 2M, where the M stands for modified, I think. And this is sort of the workhorse of the Russian Air Force during the Second World War. This aircraft has the nickname of the flying tank, basically, and you can sort of see why. It's very big, it's pretty heavily armored, it's a tad slow, but it gets a lot done. And, well, ground attack aircraft actually have a very particular role that they fulfill, which is normally in battles they would engage enemy convoys. So they use their machine guns to shoot at enemy tanks, trucks, sometimes even infantry convoys, and try to sweep over those as they fly by. Now the problem of that is, of course, that in order to do so effectively you need to fly quite low. So unlike bombers, these aircraft don't have the safety of altitude. That also means that the design of these things is quite a bit different than from bombers, and in this game it means that the playstyle is vastly different. One of the primary weapons in this case is actually the machine guns, and in a bomber, of course, the forward firing weapons are completely useless. Now, the one thing that they do have in common in this game is that both classes of aircraft have a focus primarily on attacking bases, and ground attack aircraft, yeah, that's really all they are really good at. Some are kind of able to take out some aircraft, but they get outmaneuvered pretty easily. And when that happens, fighters can just shoot at your rear like there's no tomorrow, basically. Now, the thing that the Russians did to come up with this, to solve this problem, because this was actually a problem during the Second World War as well, is to have a rear gunner. And if you look very closely, we can actually see him sitting in the middle here, and he's sort of out in the open. Might get a better view at him later. Now in this aircraft, that's actually a post modification, so the aircraft wasn't designed to have this rear gunner, it was simply post fitted to have a rear gunner. So they made a hole in the cockpit, you can see him now, and fitted a rear gunner there, which has a machine gun mount and he can shoot backwards. Now what just happens is, of course, very useful. An enemy aircraft flew into my wing, and since this is such a heavily armored aircraft, my wing did get severely damaged, but we still are flying while the enemy fighter, yeah, he didn't survive. And well, again, this is something, these aircraft, they are quite sturdy, and that's interesting. As long as you don't get someone right behind you, you can make a lot of stuff work for you. Bombs away on the center here. Now we can see though that something is shooting me from the rear, and we'll have to pay some attention to that. Our rear gunner is kicking into action, but he isn't able to fire under such angle, and we go down by the hurricane that we just rammed into. Now, of course, in a ground attack aircraft, as the name suggests, you want to be attacking ground targets. So the logical choice for us is to simply go for the enemy base. It doesn't really make sense to try and protect the other bases. These aircraft can't fly very high, and yeah, we want to make use of our rockets and our bombs. So let's see what we can do on the enemy rocket-based military base. In the game there are two lines of attack aircraft, the German one and the Russian one. The Russian is composed of Ilyushins, and the German is Messerschmitt. And the Russian line actually has rockets and bombs, and generally machine guns. The machine guns aren't too strong. They can deal some damage, but they aren't too impressive. On the German line, the guns are generally quite a bit heavier. They have faster reloading bombs, but the German line lacks rockets. Rockets can be very fun and can be useful. Bit of a steering brain fault there. So yeah, it's really whatever suits your playstyle best, I suppose. But I myself like the Russian ground attack aircraft. I also think that the history behind the Ilyushins in particular is quite interesting. So now we turn around to go to the other military base. So the actual success rate of the Russian Ilyushin is a bit disputed because there were a lot manufactured, which on one hand suggests it must have been quite a good aircraft, because you don't make a lot of them if they are really bad. But then again, the more you make, it kind of suggests that you also lose a lot of them. In fact, the Ilyushin had so much aircraft produced that it's the most produced military aircraft throughout history. Now, of course, that's in the course of, say, 100 years, a bit less even, but still quite impressive. So I think it was probably quite an effective aircraft and most likely very useful for taking out these huge convoys. And you can imagine if you have a convoy of trucks and tanks, armored cars going over these fast plains in Russia, and the Germans would invade them, then you can imagine that these aircraft, especially in large groups, which they generally were used in, that they would really be able to get quite some work done. So, yeah, this was my battle. We're currently seeing, I think, an SE-100. I really like this this view without the interface. Makes you, it's quite immersive, really, but it's very difficult to play. So let me know what you guys think about the ground attack aircrafts and which line is your favorite. So as we can see here, we have a pretty standard result actually for a ground attack aircraft. Nothing too special really, it's not very high performance, but I like to showcase the more standard matches every now and then. So we destroyed some ground targets, couple of capture points, 2 sectors captured. Didn't manage to contribute to any more captures. The battle didn't last very long, so in a way that makes sense. We managed to take down 2 enemy aircraft, one of which by ramming. Not a lot of damage to aircraft. but a lot of damage to ground targets, of course, and that's what we're here for, basically. Just shy of the second grade. So yeah, this is really a pretty standard gameplay, and of course when you have longer battles, do a bit better, get the battle more in your favor, and especially at INTS you can really do a lot more. But this is generally what these ground attack aircraft gameplay look like. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you around next time. Most likely with a video on the German ground attacks. See you!